Friends, I think I found a hut.
But that can't be. I walked right out there. Look at.
Piaiva, my precious buddies, we're going on a hike today. We're looking for a cabin again with you. 2 years ago, one of the fishermen gave me a tip about a place where there's a cabin. He said the cabin is for everyone, a cabin for good people. And he pointed out the approximate location.
That's it. I just couldn't bring myself to come here.
So now I went, got a hotel. I'll leave a little something at the Uzba if I find it, because I might have misunderstood or something else. It's hard for me when I can't see it on the map. It's negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit today, and the temperature will continue to drop throughout the day with no sun in sight. Because this is exactly the weather change. Tomorrow, yesterday. Yesterday, the weather was cool, really great, awesome. The last, like the trees, just like the trees. You see, that's what our trees are like. It was great. Zaichi came out and a capercaillie flew right above me.
It's really, really awesome overall. The only thing is, it's hard to walk. The crust, you know, you step on it and then you fall through.
I'll show you now. This is the kind of crust like this, but it's still weak. It doesn't hold. In spring, maybe it would hold. A snowmobile handles this type of crust well, but we don't have one, folks. To really feel the whole thrill. So, the beautiful forests of the Karelian region, the northern one. A fascinating search for the cabin. I want to address the skeptics and those who write mean comments right away. I treat any cabin with respect. I understand a little why people don't want to talk about or show the cabins. But I don't say where it is, I just show it and always speak with respect. I sometimes say things like, it was like this here and like that there, but there's no offense intended. If a cabin is locked, I leave, but if it's unlocked, it's open to all. We don't have designated hunting grounds like in Siberia. Instead, we have cabins for hunting, fishing, and everyone's use. That's how it is. Let's go, friends, just like that. Look. It's heavy, as I said. Look, this is a logging site, apparently a fresh one, and here there's a wall like this. Now we'll go around this wall and move on. With me, I took a backpack, a piece of salad, a piece of bread, and some garlic. Of course, I still have a night shift today, so let's go in. Look, friends, on his shelf there's only one girl like her. You can see? Friends, look, everything here is covered in hare tracks and paths.
And that means they live somewhere around here. Friends, here we are with You Have Come to
Such a swamp. And look, we have a cross standing here like this. It's the first time I've seen it, to be honest. I'm here for...
I came here in the fall.
Now we're going to climb up the hill, over there, and then we'll go there.
here are our friends. A little moose just passed by. A moose passed by, leaving tracks. Like these? Well, it's probably a female moose. They're pretty small. I had friends.
There was a moment when I could have walked to the lake, to the cabin, after lunch, but I refused. And to make it more interesting for myself, for the adventure,
It's harder, but more interesting. It's very hard to walk.
I think that with this kind of snow, 2 kilometers for someone who's not very well trained like me, well, you could say not trained at all, it will already mean something.
I'll say that in the swamp over there's even more snow.
My breathing gets a little off, but that's because after all, look around here and there, such a tree.
Oh yeah? Go back a little bit, just a bit less.
Dear friends. Dear friends, ahead of us there are a few dozen tall trees among these small ones.
This is called a seed forest.
It's also known as a seed stand, left during logging to provide seeds. Usually in places like this, capacaylis and wood grouses sit. They can feed there safely and see everything from there. Now let's take a look together. I'll explain it once again, and I want to point out, friends, the so-called expert hunters, all those guys who try to teach me, some of them in a negative way, the tough ones, the seasoned ones. Don't watch this video, it's not for you, it's for beginners, for regular people, and so on.
Here will we talk about something new. You don't see it, not the birds. It's already gone, friends.
Sometimes you come across things like this in the forest. I didn't want to show it, but you see it. Some kind of writing, I won't write it, just something like this. So friends, well, I've decided to go out to the swamp. It's a small lake, and behind it there's another lake. Look.
Yes, there's really a lot of snow in the swamp.
But it's beautiful. The main danger is falling through the thin ice on the swamp, which hasn't frozen over much despite the cold weather. Looks like I'm walking on top. Oh, I'm already getting onto the road. Look here, friends. It's like a real lake, perfect for fishing. It's necessary. Very interesting.
I'll find everything. It's great, for sure.
Now we'll cross this lake through the grove, and there will be a big lake. The one where I was told there's a cabin. Let's go take a look. We'll leave some small gifts, but ones that are useful for the cabin.
By the way, I didn't take everything. I wanted to take more, but this is my usual amount.
Here's a little juniper, really beautiful. Let's take it. A branch like this.
I have a thermos.
I have a thermos, friends. And now we'll put a juniper twig in the thermos. I also have some cloudberries in there. The thermos just won't open like this. Trailers. Literally this small one. Now, we won't do anything bad, but we'll gain some health for ourselves. Friends, I dipped my finger in the soup. It's so hot, but it feels like I just poured it. It's a good thermos, friends, a really good one. I'm telling you right away. But it's inconvenient to pour from it because the neck is so narrow. Actually, that's why it keeps the heat so well, because of that narrow neck. Now my finger is going to freeze because... Oh God, Yelchik, thank you. The people who are with the Friends channel, they will always support me and understand. I wish to go. The swamp is sinking.
Let's be cunning.
The lake is kind of rectangular, and I was told that a stream flows into it in the middle and flows out. Here's a river like this, and I was told that, well, in one of the streams, there's a cabin. Actually, it's kind of simple. If it's really there, then we'll find it today, together with you. We'll gather friends with it. We'll need it.
Look, friends.
A stone, and someone was running on the stone. Judging by the tracks, it's a marten. Let's take a look. Yes, it's a marten. A marten. It was running around. So there are martens here. Martens on the territory. Here comes the blood already. And it starts to get interesting. So what do we have here?
In the environment?
Yeah, remember, I already thought it was Wednesday. Koya was already happy. Guys, I fell through. Damn, be careful. These are the kind of forests, I'm telling you. I just crashed on the snowmobile. No, it's like bird wings. Maybe somewhere around here, birds are taking off. I want to show you something just like this.
A dance.
There's a lake below. And there, I think, is a small island. Cool, I like it. As I should come here. It's nice in the summer. Let's cross, let's cross. Hey everyone, check out that small island over there. It's neat. Dear friends, do you know what makes our winter, which started like this, so unique? It's unique because we're about to go fishing. It looks really cool. Because there's about 7 centimeters of snow, it's easy to move around on the lakes, and it's easy to get to them, but you can't reach all of them by car. So that's how it is. Let's go to the island. Let's check it out. Look, we've come out onto the lake. Now we just need to figure out where we are. I was looking at the holes. Someone is still fishing here. That's interesting. Now I'll reach the lake, then I'll head to the left shore, and basically we'll walk along the shore and explore the area. That's how it is. And look, 2 are flying over there. There's almost no snow on the lake. Look. You know, searching for the cabin is very important to me. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, and I get tremendous pleasure from it. That's how it is. You definitely have to come here for fishing in the summer, but you just have to worry about how to do it.
Look at this one.
Actually, it's like a rock. Small, gorgeous. Like, you know, like a deserted island. Alright, well, we checked out the island. Now we're heading to that shore and we'll walk along the coast. Well, take a look at the island. You see, that's how we find locations for future videos. That's basically how it's done. Now we're reaching the shore and we'll walk along it, looking closely and paying attention to the distance. Due to an unspecified hut, with no information provided about its location or distance. Could be far, it could be close. I didn't find anything on the map, so we'll have to look around closely. And that's a bit of a mystery. You know, friends, I'll be honest with you. When I see a cabin from a satellite and I know where to go, it's psychologically very easy and simple for me. But it's less interesting. But what about now? And I have such feelings inside. You know yourself how I feel about all this. I have such feelings inside. Whether I'll find a house or not, whether it's true or not, like someone advised me to look for a house somewhere, I come and it's burned down. Can you imagine? You know, when you approach the house, or the place where the house was, there are some marks on the trees, maybe something nailed to them, or someone is carrying a washstand or a table to clean fish on the shore and related activities. I just want those people who have a negative attitude, like saying not to show the huts, to understand. I just want them to understand that, well, damn, it's not done out of malice. On the contrary, it's actually cool. And someone told me, and some people told me that they once, well, like, you found the hut, thank you. And I'm like, what's the big deal? They say, my father and I once built this hut together. We have many memories and interesting things linked to it. Well, I mean, I kind of feel good about it. People feel good and I feel good too. There seems to be a road leading up, possibly for walking, and a small hut is visible. There are tracks, either of a moose or a wolverine. I'm not quite sure, but most likely a wolverine because it moves in short steps like this.
Friends,
I wonder here. I found, and actually, in my opinion, this is either a black grouse or a hazel grouse. I can't really tell. Look, you see, this is fresh from today. It walked, and then flew away. Maybe it's a small female, judging by the size, but I'm not really sure. I'm not an expert. These kinds of shores are interesting. It's like, well, cool shores. There are stumps on the shores. Friends, be careful. Maybe a bird will take off somewhere right now. I want to show you beauty. First of all, the most beautiful beauty. Here it is for me. This is beauty. How many times I've been here, how many years, how many times I come here, and how many years, how many times I come here. And for me, this is beautiful. Isn't it beautiful for someone who can see it for the first time? There are big trees and a stream over there. Actually, now we're going to come closer and see what awaits us there. The frost stings my cheeks, but I enjoy it.
Strange as it may seem.
The main thing is not to miss the stream because it's dangerous. It either flows out of or into the lake. Most likely it flows out of the lake. So, is it unclear? Again, I don't see any cabin outlines or anything. These are the gates, the stream place, and there's a swamp here, a swamp there, and it's just not very interesting.
This likely isn't the stream, which is further ahead. Yeah, the stream. Over there with the rocks.
The ice here will be thin now. Here's the stream. It's not frozen. If we assume that they travel along the stream to the hut, as I understand it, the stream then goes off to the right. Still, I don't even know what to do. The cabin is definitely not on the shore. It starts from this concern. The cabin is definitely not on the shore. But look, here we have some kind of first sign. Interesting. Here's a log like this, cut between the trees. It's placed between the trees, you see? It's set up. It's unclear. There are no signs. You see, it's open. Now let's go here. Like here. A furnace, not a furnace. What's even here? We have a swamp here. It's all marshy. I definitely don't want to walk through places like this. All right. Let's go back there. You can be here. The cabin is on the left. I guess people might possibly come here by boat. But again, I don't know how you could get here by boat. It's hard to imagine, and the cabin is far away. But here the shore is good. The main thing for me is to find a shore either on the left or the right. Here's a good forest to walk through, and maybe from there I'll be able to cross. But that's the intrigue, as they say. Try to find it. But I can't see. I can't see any signs where the boats are. What's going on here? Let's go. The shore seems high here, with no water.
Let's go into the woods.
There's no path to the lake. I said, if people drive along the stream, maybe they don't even need a path.
Makes sense.
Many huts are hidden in the streams. Well, they don't want a lot of people spending the night there and so on. Let's take a look at something now and we'll figure it out.
Hares were riding, birds were walking. Maybe partridges? Partridges.
We're walking through some kind of clearing. Maybe it was a clearing, or maybe something else.
You see, friends, it's that feeling again. This forest actually is what interested me. You see, like this.
Maybe there's a little hut over there for us.
So, what is this here?
My friends and I are nearing a waterfall, rapid or beaver dam based on the clear sound we hear. I think I'm walking through dangerous places right now. The ice is cracking, but it's all just an icy thing here.
And the ice here is thin, apparently, because there's water flowing. It's getting narrower. But it's a good experience to see, to visit.
It's extremely risky. I'm warning you now, friends.
I'm not exaggerating the situation. I won't be able to cross here.
There appears to be flooding in the distance. Look, this is the mystery. This is truly a natural mystery.
Whoa.
I put a little step there for him. Alright, I'll go over there. It's probably like a lake, you know. I won't look at the map. We'll just make decisions like this. The ice broke, but it's not deep there. But I almost didn't make it. As they say, if it had been just a little more, if I had gone a bit further, I would have fallen through and wouldn't have walked so confidently. You get it, right? It's a mess. So where's the exit? A bit more to the right, of course, there it is. And look, friends, this moose track is really fresh, you see? This is a female. She actually lives somewhere around here. She walked right here. Look, right here. Fresh, really fresh. And interestingly, here is Svetlosa Pernatrop. Some kind of swamp here. So, what do we have here? There's some kind of bay. We need to move carefully. We'll get to the bay soon. I'll check the map. Otherwise, I might end up crossing the lake, and who knows where. It could get dangerous. You friends. Look at these awesome places, yeah. Such a threshold leads to an interesting little backwater, and there I'll show you now. You'll be amazed what we have here. I got lucky. Nature itself gave me something like this. This is how our little river falls. There can't be a hut here. There's no point. The hut should be by the lake. But I would walk around and take a look. Interesting places, really cool. Look, friends, we have a bridge here. Did you see the bridge? Now we'll walk across it. But you have to remember, by the way, I walked right by and didn't even notice. You have to remember, friends, one thing. The bridge might collapse or something else could happen. That's it, but it's a gift of faith. A hut in the stream. Again, just like when I was looking for a hut along the path, and here's a hut in the stream. Why is it in the stream? What is it doing here? This stream goes on for many kilometers. How do you make sense of that? This is an ancient bridge, really ancient. You can't even see any road. This is fortunate. I'm unsure how I would have jumped here, crossed over, or what else I would have done. But this is a bridge, my friends. But in the spring, when the current is strong, it almost washes it away here. You could fall in there and not get out. And here it's just so beautiful. All right, let's go. It's a bit dangerous. It's a bit dangerous. These are the bridge remains, but there's hardly anything left. Almost nothing. People moved away, but much of the Chipiliznik route remains. There are fresh tracks made by a moose, fresh footprints. It's dangerous here too, some kind of stream. I don't like it. The moose walked here and was sinking in. You see, there are such sinkholes. Dangerous places, friends. You can fall in very deep. Well, not exactly drown there. You see, Elk, I am following your tracks. This is a frozen or dried up stream. It probably still works just fine. In the spring, here, friends, Lost came out onto the old road and walked here. Well, am I worse than Lost, or what? Lost, more like a female moose. I was holding onto a branch, it broke, and I fell onto the ice. When I was falling, I thought in my head that I had drowned, well, that I was done for, but no, I got lucky. Everything. Cool. Moose tracks, and we're following them, friends.
I think I found a cabin. Well, this can't be real. I walked right up to it. Look, some kind of structures. Oh, old cabins. No, friends, really, there was an old cabin. Wow.
How is this possible, Dem? What kind of misfortune is in these parts? That's already the second cabin burned down and ruined. Look. As I understand it, this used to be a stove. I was walking, losing hope, thinking there wouldn't be any hut. It resembled a metal stove-like structure. Honestly, it's not clear. Now I'll raise the camera for you to see. Look, here are the wreaths, a little hut. There was a little hut. What happened here? And here's the stove. Look, I'll clean it now. Look here, friends. The wreaths for wreaths for wreaths. I mean, well, this is a hut. Ah, damn. I'm so sorry. It was so cool, so small, apparently ancient. You know, I was really worried that there would be a modern hut here, but this one is kind of ancient.
Hope I don't step on any nails.
Hope I don't step on any nails, of course. It even has a pipe. Now, friends, look. Damn, I feel so sorry, friends. I really feel sorry. Just don't think that I knew where it was, any of you? I was told that it's really in the stream. What a tiny little tube, a tube. Look, here's a pipe, a flange. Look how interestingly it's made. the second flange.
Cool. Yeah.
So this is pain, my friends. This is real pain. And you might think that I'm lying or joking or something else, or that I'm faking it. This is real pain. Some newspapers. Here is the stove. It's a good stove that we need to take, friends. No one here will need it anymore. Listen, well, it's a good stove. Did something really happen to the house? What happened to the house? Look, friends, the stove we have is just fine. It's still sturdy. Next, here are the flanges for the pipe. Here it is. The events are unknown and mysterious. But you can see that the hut is old. Look at the logs. I'll show you from this side now. Here's how it stood. This is how it was. But judging by the crowns, the house is old. That's really painful, of course. Thanks to those who told me about it. The stove needs to be taken from here. I have to come back for spring fishing and definitely take the stove. So let's see what we have here. How it was built. Well, it's not clear here anymore. The hut is too old, you know. Most likely that's how it was. I don't understand what happened. Well, it definitely wasn't burned. Maybe it's Kimdimovskaya, rebuilt. It's too small. So, the stove is good, friends. The stove is in good condition. What's this nonsense? What if the plan starts? This is how I dress. Here it is, and here it is, and the pipe turns out to be small. The hut was really tiny. Friends, I apologize. I won't investigate further here. It's all clear now. Something happened to the hut. Jaw. Well, my friends, it looks like I found the hut. I completed my task for today, so to speak, the one I wanted. I completed my task. I'll come back in the spring. Definitely. We need to bring equipment here and take it away because the stove is good and the pipes are good too. I would put a different, more powerful pipe here, of course, but the stove is great. The stove is great. You can see that the stove was made here not so long ago, but everything else is old. Well, it's a pity. Write your comments. What do you think? What are your thoughts? And those who told me about this hut, what was here? What was it like? Maybe someone remembers it. Because if someone had told me that the hut had burned down, it would have been burned down. I nearly missed the hut, having already reached the lake. Here, it's just a matter of a few meters. Oh, here's the stream, that's right. But it's standing in the stream. That's how it is, friends. We'll have lunch, then head out.
It's a pity.
It was really small, about 3 by 3, I guess.
I don't understand where the other crowns are. Well, here they are, lying here.
1, 2, 3, 4, so there are 2 crowns each lying here. The walls, one of them fell like this. Where's the roof? Where is everything?
It's unclear what happened to the hut and what went on.
All right, friends. Regrettably, we've lost this hut. I wanted to show it. I thought, for some reason, I thought there was a hut here, a serious one. Well, for those who are here all the time, like solid, you could say restored, or at least in good condition. Well, here it is.
I found it by accident while following moose tracks, as there wasn't much snow. If there had been a lot of snow, I might not have stumbled upon it. It's a pity.
Apparently there was an owner, maybe later, I don't know. Maybe it burned, by the way, maybe it burned down. Yes, because it burned down in winter.
It would be obvious that it burned down.
I don't understand what happened. Honestly, I don't understand.
No, nothing is burned. It's unclear what that was. Possibly a window? It's unclear. Some kind of board is nailed here. It doesn't seem burned. I don't understand anything and can't figure it out.
All right, let's go. We've looked around. There's nothing else to see here.
Because of this, my friends, of course, sadness has troubled my heart.
I'll try to take this stove, and it will still come in handy for us in my new project.
I'm telling you, friends, right? I saw some logs. They were here. It was for nothing. I went around for them.
Well, it's pretty far, pretty far.
It's a shame. And the weather here is getting better. And it seems like it's getting colder, but according to the forecast, it should be less cold. That's the kind of snow we have here. Let's go. Whoa! I'm sinking into the swamp.
Maybe there's still a little hut here. I don't know, but that was awesome. The hike is definitely so exciting.
Friends, sir.
Again, I say again, I repeat once more, not in the right place, not at the right time.
I was born at the wrong time.
Well, maybe it's not good to say that, but still.
Alright, we should at least sit by the campfire after all. It's been so many kilometers.
I have tea in my thermos. Sava the white. It's not brisket, just white lard.
Garlic. For some reason, I think about garlic more than about lard and bread.
Look at this, friends. My mustache is frozen. My mustache is frozen like this.
By the way, friends, some advice. These are fleece gloves. These are gloves.
These are gloves from the company Sprout.
But this isn't an ad. I just put them on today. You know, I wore some other gloves, and for some reason my hands were freezing in those.
So I had to put on these ones. I was driving here in my car because it was cold in my car.
I'll have to set aside a pack of cigarettes. Anyway, I need to walk along that shore, check out the bend, or I could go along this one too. I want to explore the awesome lake. I plan to spend a summer night on that little island. All right, my dear friends, that's all for now. The cold has taken its toll and my lips are nearly frozen. We're done for today. That's the end of our adventure for today. We did find the hut, of course, but it's not really there, you could say. Well, it's there, but it's already too late. That's what I'll call the film. Found a hut in the Taiga, but it was too late. It's a shame. The place is awesome. I would have come and spent the night. It's great, amazing, and incredible. So I showed you this frosty forest, froze myself, and made you feel the cold too. I think someone else felt the effect of the frost too. Wishing you health in your arms, your legs, and everywhere else. Don't like and don't subscribe. Many more adventures await, friends. With your support, everything will be fine for us. Be happy and healthy, friends.